All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the second episode of the Imagination Podcast. This is Jared Gingrich, the host, accompanied by
Johnny Ray,
Angie,
Ruben.
Great. We have an excellent panel set up for tonight. Got some really cool topics we're going to be going over, and hope that everyone's had a wonderful past week. Poor Johnny's a little under the weather, so please bear in mind his voice might be a little toned down. But let's do it. First thing we want to cover, of course, for our community is Indie Assault. Some of the updates with the game, including last Wednesday's review of the game and the overall progress. So with that in mind, anyone here that's like vocal, what do you guys think about the new announcer voice, like the 3, 2, 1 countdown?
Oh, that was in the beginning?
you know how it's a lot deeper now?
Hmm.
When they'll be played Wednesday?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did that inspire you more? Or like, it's a fight! Or just like, oh.
I guess we did play some matches, but I'm not sure if we did that because we got there a little bit late, but I don't know,
did it
probably have
seem
to hear
too
it
dramatic
again.
of a change?
Okay.
Yeah, especially since we were all talking.
Yeah.
Probably didn't notice as much.
And we didn't have a sound bar. God, need that. So what did everyone think, including the community? What do you guys think about Spade's new awesome down special with the circling cards?
Yeah. I think it's awesome. It's good to combo. Probably need to tone it down a little bit though, but
Had a lot of
it's
knockback.
yeah.
Had a lot of not back, and it stayed for far too long. Oh my god.
Little guy's like, yeah, I'm invincible.
Yeah, it's basically he just gets a star man for 10 seconds. Oh, it ran out, down me again.
Boom! Initiate. Any other feedback about the build? Like the small changes with Rin, the new fluid advancements. Now she lands. Just a couple other animations.
She feels a bit smoother now, especially since we started adding in the animations. So it's not she doesn't feel as clunky as she used to.
Good.
I was kind of curious as to what other special moves are planning for her. Like maybe she did some kind of other grab setups into like a side special or something. Because I remember in the other build I was kind of messing around when the throw mechanic wasn't quite finished, and I kind of did that. It wasn't consistent, but you could almost like a crossover move where you threw, but kind of missed the throw and I got on the other side of it, but then you could
she had a throw.
And then,
so this is all news to me.
What about the elemental that you were talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This week she's gonna have a brand new neutral special, which is pretty epic. She basically throws a slow moving, what would you say, like a ball?
Fireball. Well, not exactly.
Ball
fireball.
magic, negative energy. Throws it, if it makes contact with an enemy, it basically sucks them into a point. What'd you say? I don't know the specifics, 5 to 10 seconds, or in-game 3 to 4 seconds.
Yeah.
They get stunned, so she can run up. You either use her charged assault or just combo into it.
Because did you guys played Smash before? You know Ness's Smash B, his PK Fire?
oh,
With a splash. Does it have a splash?
As
Yeah.
a giant flame.
It makes the little fire fountain for a few seconds. Your characters kind of get stuck in it, like that.
oh, okay.
Because when we were talking about it, I just kind of felt that her moves aren't very fast. They do have a good kick to them, so having that avenue of stopping an opponent to be able to get them, it's really helpful.
Yeah, that she definitely did something to help out with her offense. I think she definitely has potential. I think that'll definitely help out with it.
That, and then just summon that dragon, boom, and kill your enemies. They're stuck there with the black energy pillar.
Yeah. So, what's assault? What are we? What's the projection on that, bro?
I don't know. It's a lot of work, and Lucas knows firsthand that every stage will be different because they get the dragon. We want it to come across and then down. Down's easy. I mean, you can just pretty much set it rudimentary in every stage of it. Face down. It's just the primary stage levels are all different heights.
Yeah. Especially when you look at Imperium City compared to Dragon Valley.
Yeah. Yeah. True. Moving on there. Indie Assault Early Access Launch Trailer. Alright, panel time. What is some of the panel's favorite launch trailers of all time?
BioShock Infinite. 100%. It has just that essence. It tells you exactly what you're going to be doing. He comes riding in, jumps down, hook to the face, rips it off, shoots a couple guys, then grabs Elizabeth's hand and pulls her away. And instead of it being like, oh, well, this is obviously a cutscene, you get to do stuff like that in the game. You can rail glide, drop down, shoot some guys, grab a med pack from Elizabeth.
It kind of
represents-
summarizes that all together.
Yeah, instead of it being like,
Cinematic, like you've seen a lot of Call of Duty launch trailers.
yeah, there's a lot called it, which those are all scenes, but you don't do anything in it.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, all right, when do I get to shoot people?
Yeah.
I like that it was surreal.
Yeah. I mean, because there have been some really bad launch trailers too, and teaser trailers, where, like, if you look at a lot of the Ubisoft ones, like looking at Watch Dogs, they made that game look so much cooler than it actually turned out to be.
Hey, it's still a good game, man. Just the hype was a lot.
Well, my main problem with it was mainly the story and the fact that it looked like nothing compared to when, like, the pre-alpha, like all the alpha stuff that they showed us. The game looked beautiful. Then when we get it, it looks like a late-gen PS2 game.
Wouldn't say that.
Yeah, I would. The hair definition's all off. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I think that was definitely a good one. BioShock Infinite. I liked one of the. I guess they have a lot of different versions of it, but the Metal Gear, the 5 Phantom Pain. There's one particular one that like Snake was kind of moving through, like crawling through the hospital scene and stuff, and then like explosions and stuff was pretty nice cinematics.
Well, that was almost the whole game.
Yeah, so it was kind of
Crawling through
sharp.
hospitals with explosions.
Angie, favorite launch trailer that you liked?
I liked the Final Fantasy 15.
The online version of Final Fantasy, or is that?
No,
Is it-
15's the new one.
It's an action RPG.
Yeah. It's the one with Noctis. There's like a whole demo you get with Type 0 that lets you play the game. It's still technically in development, but it's coming out soon. Square Enix is just kind of hush-hush on exactly when.
Yeah. Usually,
So,
Japanese.
It looks
developer.
cool though. It looks really action packed.
yeah. To me, it looks like Final Fantasy Road Trip.
Yeah, they're just cruising and then let's.
Yeah, it's like, oh, let's pull over and just mess up some monsters. real quick.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Throwing mine in there into the hat would be Evolution Studios Motorstorm 1. I was like, wow, that's a great game. And then it's like the PlayStation banner, right there. I felt like triumphantly, I think that was like one of the best launch shows they had. Next to Resistance Fall Man, which of course is a shooter. But nevertheless, I felt like it was a good diversity and also had a really strong, presence with its launch trailer. Just representation of like pushing next gen, even though like in the demo like they had like the mud marks and all that they're train like that was just like wow, like you actually have cars that drive around a track instead just a track, just bam, it's perfect. You run it on a tree, it's there next lap. So that was, I feel like a big pinnacle for racing games moving forward.
Yeah, I think one of the worst types of launch trailers are the ones that are live action. Because it shows you absolutely nothing about the game. It still gets you the hype, but it doesn't give you any real information. So you can pretty much do anything with just a live action trailer. Like PlayStation All Stars, their trailer was epic, where they're like has the guy like cleaning up. There's like bullet shells and you see like Sweet Tooth's sword just lying around. They're trying to clean it all up. And you can see all the PlayStation memorabilia, I'll call it. And, I was stoked. And then when I finally get the game, after like playing arcade mode 4 times, I was like, okay, what else does this thing have? I went online and got schooled by Dante. Trying to play as my favorite PlayStation character, Spike, from Ape Escape.
At least he didn't say Fat Princess, or I would be like, man, this guy needs to play some better games. That girl was...
I hated how her rival was Cole McGrath. Do you want to eat some cake? What's that supposed to mean? Fight me.
Yeah. So as everyone knows, the awesome news, IndieSalt is planned to release next month. With that in mind, what are some ideas and suggestions the team or community would like to see in the trailer?
I think we should show off some of the Blitz assaults.
Yeah.
Probably in more depth and give good information on how they perform.
I was thinking about like what I liked with Natalie, who previously did her trailer, was like really like zoomed in on that. I think it'd be cool to we talked about some new differences with reworking how the gauge worked, or more or less placement, but keeping that in mind to really show like as it fills, and then maybe show like when it's filled, and then blitz assaults, rinse too, giant dragon, awesome. What else? I think we should also show a lot like what the game has to feature is like I want to like run through like some of the good things like it has training mode, it has ability to turn on and off items, really everything that people should want and could want from an indie fighting game. I mean, we might not have frame data, but being able to slow down the game, speed it up, increased hit stun, I think those are all.
We should definitely do another teaser for another character that's upcoming.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I've already had someone message me that they knew who it was. So,
But yeah, we don't want to give away the jackpot of the trailer, sir. But yes, we would definitely like to showcase moving forward what's going to be post, early access. We have big plans sitting right in front of you guys here. We have Angie and Ruben who are working on some epic confidential assets for the game that I think you're all going to really like.
Mind blown.
Anything with that? Angie, Ruben?
Yeah, I think that's gonna be an enjoyable stage, definitely.
yeah, nice large stage, which we need more of.
Cool. Behind the Pixels, an in-depth look at 3D design. Ruben, want to open us up with talking about what steps you take to recreate concept art and bring it to life in 3D?
Yeah, like usually use reference, like there's concept art provided, and also just kind of think about how I can see like breaking it down, like the geometry pieces and how that can work well with the type of asset that I'm making. I guess it also depends like where it's going next in the pipeline, if it's going to be rigged or not, or could have to do with that, and how much, doing like with the making sure it's cleaned up and everything, once we get to the
Good
more
edge
final
flow.
things. Yeah, the edge flow and
Going
Yeah.
from larger detail to the smaller details. First, have to get the basic big things nailed down first.
Yeah, the rough shape.
Hmm
That'd be tough too, because you guys just got like a screenshot pretty much.
Yeah.
We don't have
The
concept.
more angles, the better. The 2D reference is better with more angles, but if we have one, then we kind of have to like work with it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we're doing the best we can with it.
From a 2D to 3-dimensional space. Got it.
Yeah.
Because we don't want it looking kind of funky how Freedom Planet's Dragon Valley looks coming out. How some people don't really like the head-on display for it. You know how it almost looks
Yeah.
2D?
Well, I think you should emphasize what the artist was going for. He was going for a one-to-one identical replication of it.
Exactly.
And I don't think he was going for is, like, this is going to be in a 2.5D game, whereas, like, that's been addressed, like, several times with now everyone. It's like,
Yeah.
we're making a 3-dimensional game. Okay, it is played in 2-dimensional, but that's it,
Yeah, because I know some people complained about it, but like Flat
They'll
Zone-
love it.
Yeah, they'll love it. They'll absolutely love it.
You guys are going to love that
Yeah.
bridge.
Because like I've played Smash and Flat Zone is one of my favorite stages, especially when you can pause it and like slide it to the side and they actually look flat. I mean, Freedom Planet doesn't have that aesthetic, so we're not going to do that. But I mean, when they stay true to the original game, that's really cool. Because like in Smash Bros. For 3DS, the Kirby stage is done like a Game Boy screen, so it's really interesting to see.
What have you overcome recently in your work endeavors, and what new techniques would you like to learn or see implemented with 3D assets as an indie game is moving forward, Ruben?
was kind of like addressing on things, I guess, maybe certain types of assets or shapes that might not has been as familiar with, and just kind of working with, what finding the best way to make different shapes and just kind of being more logical about that.
How
I
to
guess.
approach complex shapes
Yeah.
and with the most logical way of breaking it down and building it back up.
When you were working with your concept for the community, what would you say? How did you measure like real world like feet and then do it virtually? What did you like just eyeball it? Did you what steps did you do?
Well, I mean, we had some assets, I guess, try to use for scaling, like character reference, and then, well, I guess some of the assets are rather large, but yeah, I'm using, I guess, other assets
Cool.
in comparison for scaling.
Nice.
You like how the character was on screen, so you could kind of tell how big the stage should be as opposed to the character.
Yeah.
You
Right.
used him for scaling.
Right.
Gotcha. Cool.
Simple import.
Thanks for that. Gives the community some insight into exactly what you do behind the scenes. Summer gaming ideas and goals. What is the summer game that you want to check out and why? Anyone?
There's a couple I'm really looking forward to, but through my job I'm getting Witcher 3 for free.
Witcher.
So I'm going to get so down on that. I need a really good RPG right now because I'm a lot of them have been letting me down.
Oh, Witcher! I just saw the trailer on TV today of that game. It looks crazy.
Yeah, and since Elder Scrolls dropped the subscription fee, I'm going to be playing that. But
It looks cool.
Yeah, I wanted to check out the Hover. They had an Urbans edition. Since I backed that on Kickstarter, I should be hopefully getting that soon, so I can check that out.
Can you say that again one more time? What's that?
Hover Urbans edition, because I was backer on that, so that's like one of the rewards. So I'll be checking that out. I'll hopefully be getting that. I think next month.
What type of game is that? So I've never heard of this game.
like a
It's
city building.
no, well, it's I guess the combination is inspired by like Jet Set Radio and also like Mirror's Edge. It's kind of like in between.
We're talking about Hover
free-running-
Revolt of Gamers?
Yeah, that's the one. It's like parkour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because you're saying some crazy name. You're saying Hover.
Well, because they have
That's
their
the
own.
one.
They have like an Urbans edition, which was what the thing that I backed because that was one of the rewards that
it's
they
a
offered.
special-
Oh,
So
okay.
It's a special
like
edition with the characters from
Urban.
Urbans. in it.
So... Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then I'll probably try out the Rise of Tyrants. I guess it's like a mobile game. It's like same company,
Z2.
Z2, but that's kind of their own. I don't know. Just kind of checking out. There's a lot of speculation about that game, so
Cool. I'd say a game that has come in and just absolutely blown me away with just its creativity and has really caught my attention definitely has to be Splatoon.
Oh, I
Splat-
forgot about
that looks so cool and I'm really excited for it. I love the teams, what they have behind it, and I'm really looking forward to checking that out. Is it coming for both 3DS or Wii U? I think
Just
it's Wii U. Yeah.
It's coming out on the 29th, and it shows that Nintendo can take like the concept of a shooter
Yeah.
and make it something that still feels totally Nintendo.
Yes.
Because Nintendo doesn't have a shooter yet.
No.
So
So that's a game I'd recommend putting on your radar to check out. Give
yeah.
it the GameFly.
And,
Give it some love.
And hey, if you pre-order at a GameStop, you get Smash Bros. Costumes. I found out today.
Oh.
Yeah, a guy come in, he's like, "Yeah, you get that right?" I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I have my copy pre-ordered because I pretty much buy whatever Nintendo puts out.
Right, he does. He plays everything under the sun. Anything for you, Angie? Or no? What are for this summer plans and goals? Are you guys gonna be attending conventions, entering more FGC tournaments, or just developing for your summer goals?
Well, I mean, I'm going to be going to E3, so
Oh, that is great.
yeah. So that's going to be a lot of fun. All depends on what we have lined up because I'm a busy guy.
He's a busy guy. Any plans for you, Ruben? Personal goals, professional goals?
Well, I guess, yeah, just trying to see what else we might do. Possibly Evo, maybe. And probably just working on some other, like, or working on the game and also maybe some personal stuff. I don't know.
Portfolio updating.
Gotcha. How about you, Angie? Anything? Summer goals?
Portfolio update.
Portfolio, that's it? Portfolio updating?
Update my website. Cheersgallery.com.
Alright. Alright, that works. That works. Mine,
Put some imagination vent content.
there you go.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
I'd probably say mine's going to be, split, trying to get more gaming in. I have, I'd say slashed off. My gaming haven't really been into as much. I've also been rollerblading, which has been fantastic, and I can't wait to get more active with that this summer. And just really sharing and spending some time with communities. We're hoping to get a feedback forum set up here in the coming weeks. So that everyone has, when the game launches next month, we'll be able to get that great feedback right away and start, implementing for the forthcoming, the 5th character and everything that's to come with that. And possibly an upcoming, something to bring the game together and make it more coherent, which I'm really anticipating the conversion for that turnout. All right, and in other gaming news, let's chat about some highly requested indie game characters for the Indie Assault.
So yeah, since you guys have requested so many characters, we're going to try to touch base on as many of them as we possibly can. We're going to omit a few for various reasons, but we're going to knock out some every podcast. So let's hop into it.
Kick it off with Freddy
Fazbear.
Fazbear.
Everyone's favorite jump-scaring animatronic robot that wants to force you.
The game of Nope.
Yeah.
The game of Nope.
Because I've already drafted up a moveset and everything for him, so I could totally see him being playable if we could. If Scott Cawthorn weren't completely like media blackout.
Any thoughts on that, guys? Panel?
There could be. I could think of a few move set that might be interesting for that, but I don't know if that'd be more like
Say,
comedic or how we're gonna do that.
tell them your idea.
Idea for the Blitz Assault would be maybe to like stuff them in the suit, or maybe you could possibly throw pizzas or mechanical arms as a. I mean,
Bloody pizzas.
because I mean, pretty much, I guess they're just trying to eat you in the game. So I don't know what kind of moveset they would have, but it could be interesting.
Yeah, Scott Cawthorn obviously has a sense of humor because after the first game, the female animatronic Chica, people were drawing all sorts of inappropriate art of her online. So when he designed her for the second game, he made her sexy, which is just kind of
Creepy as hell.
creepy as hell. Yes. I'm like, why do so many people want to fornicate with an animatronic?
Maybe the bronies will have a reason.
Oh, I've got no idea.
Yeah, that's like super furry right there.
Dude.
But yeah, I mean, plus, like, I'm sure you guys could think of a good stage for him too. Given enough time.
Maybe you could like temporarily disappear and then pop out or something like.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the movie Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
No.
That's like an 80s horror. It like kind of reminded me it would have that feel.
Well, if there was a stage, I'm thinking that we could either do like really simple. We could do like the security guard, like the control panel, or something a little bit more diverse.
Yeah. I mean, I would kind of like from Freddy, Five Nights at Freddy's 2, the marionette's room. There's like this birthday cake table. So you could have like the giant versions of the animatronics just like kind of standing in the back, and the screen could like fuzz, and then they'd be in different positions.
You heard it here, fellas. Be in different positions, the animatronics. All right, let's jump on to one of my favorite characters of tonight's roundtable, Beck from Mighty Number 9. Oh my goodness, like, dang, is that such a cool character. As we know, like, the creator of Mega Man, directly, took all of his love and passion into creating Beck. Almost, I want to say it, like, on the side of, like, possibly copyright. I have a high sense of urgency, that's why I went white. No racial, but I do feel like from the gray to the white, I think it had a lot to do with, looking a lot like Mega Man.
Yeah, because a lot of the indie a lot of the like greats of yesteryear, that were great on NES, Super NES, their companies have been burning them, like Hideo Kojima, Keiji Inafune. So they're doing that. Like there's like Yooka-Laylee, that's totally Banjo-Kazooie, but then being able to say "screw you, Microsoft," or the guy who the producer from Castlevania. He's making a game that's almost exactly like Castlevania.
We'll be talking about that next week.
So, definitely, I love Beck. I love the. It's kind of weird that Yuri Lowenthal voices him. The voice is a little high than I would have thought it would be.
Beck's voice?
Yeah, because they just put out that video. But I've seen plenty of gameplay for his game. He would be an interesting fighter.
Completely unique and such a wonderful dynamic between what Call, I think Beck and Call, such a cool dynamic, possibly bringing her in for the Blitz assault, and just tons of variety. And I mean, their game's ready, I think, made in Unity or Unreal for like easy implementation for like our game of like, just give us the asset, bro, we'll swing it.
Give him all the moves from either the other Mighties or possibly him being able to do things based on the other characters in our game. Like dashing into Tidus, and the next thing you know, he can like fire a sword. Something crazy like that.
That's cool. Because I'm looking forward. In the following update, we're gonna our senior animator Gabriel just added this sick move for Ren, and she's like grabs into the opponent with like her like claws and like grabs him and throws him overhead. Just had to interject that. Was just brought to mind. But yeah, any feedback on that, Angie Rubin, on Beck, Comset USA?
I think it's a very interesting character. Like kind of reminded me cross between Mega Man and Eighth Man. I don't know if you know, it's like a '60s cartoon, but but that's cool. That those air dashes and stuff. Might be a little.
How did you feel about his? Did you guys get to see his cartoon? A fully 3D cartoon?
Oh no!
I thought that was pretty peculiar.
I heard something about it, but I didn't actually see it.
Thought it was pretty interesting. It's just like a fully 3D cartoon, almost like just like a more cheesy looking version of the character. I was like, oh. And then they also made him not like as like cool. They made him more of like
Goofy?
shy. Like he wasn't like smart. Like like I'm a Mighty Number 9. Like just like I'm a cool robot kid. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the guy who's voicing him now is the same guy who voiced Ben 10. So
don't know about Ben 10, so that's the panel.
Yeah. Sorry. He's a mildly famous voice actor. So he's it's just really really high, and he's not the greatest voice actor, so it kind of has a little bit of cheese to it.
As long as it's not Christopher Lloyd, who's now voice acting for a couple games, I'm great, because I think he's an awesome actor, and maybe not the best voice actor. Putting that out there.
Oh, yeah.
Any thoughts on that subject? Alright, we'll jump to our next combatant, Vi, from Wings of Vi. She is currently on Steam. Her game is available from late 2014.
Actually 2012. The update.
Wow. Whoa.
Yeah, and it was updated in 2014.
Wait, cool.
So yeah, it's one of the few Greenlight games that's actually going
This is for all you gaming masochists that love punishment and very difficult games. This game is for you.
Oh yeah, I played a little bit of it. I was just like, stop dying. It's like Dark Souls, but if your character was a 2D angel with ginormous boobs.
Yes, level up.
Yep.
Better armor.
Can you choose between an angel or a demonic character, or is it
She like eventually gets these different costumes that you could use. So when she's in hell, she's got this demonic look to her. So.
Any thought, Ruben, on the anime boobs of the Vi character?
Jiggle physics.
Well, I don't think the actual graphics can translate it to the concept art, but
She has tiny feet. But, I mean, I think she would be a cool contrast to Rin. Be the complete opposite.
Question that I gotta put out there. So, is she like a good angel or a bad angel? Cause like,
She's a good angel.
she's a good angel. Okay.
She was orphaned because her demons kidnapped her parents. So,
Because if not, I think she'd totally contradict with Titus, who's of biblical backgrounds, and those two would just like go toe to toe, like, no.
oh yes, yes. You know, especially since he'd be like, "What the hell? No, angels aren't supposed to be big-breasted anime chicks." Which, seeing them like converse would be hilarious.
It would. And our very own Titus voice actor Johnny here, I think that would be awesome.
Val Temptress.
All right, let's touch on a game that I know quite a bit about. Slenderman. Slenderman, their rival.
He was requested quite a few times, but I honestly could not see him working well.
yeah.
Yeah, just because of how his game is. I mean, sure, Freddy, all he does is jump scare, but there's plenty to pull from the other animatronics and stuff. But with Slenderman, not only would we have to be completely original, but in his game, you're constantly running from him. If he catches you, you die.
Yeah.
Yeah, like he just stalks.
Mm-hmm.
And then like makes you black out or whatever he does. So,
Yeah, I don't know. He has tentacles, so something in that
maybe that.
vicinity.
Yeah.
No, he's becoming Yoshimitsu.
So I really don't see him working like at all without being overly silly. And then it just wouldn't fit with this game at all.
Unless you implement the tentacles somehow.
Yeah. Maybe like if he just kind of stood in place for all of his attacks and those just attacked
Just
for him.
fleeing around.
Yeah. So
Like-
to give him kind of plus, I mean, if we're gonna have to animate tentacles, oh my god, oh my god, that rig, Jared, that rig. That's the main reason we can't do Octodad.
Yeah,
Octodad.
that's true.
I mean, that's just I say 100% no. 100% no.
100% no.
Maybe an assist.
Alright.
Just appears and then the whole screen fusses out and one guy dies.
Gotcha. Alright, I think that's about it. We're going to be talking about a very important topic here in the indie game industry as it be. As we see more and more smaller developers looking to, grow and expand their, engagements and their what should we say, their social, marketing aspect, their relevance in the public community. We now have Lionsgate Films and also Starbreeze Studios, who's moving into indie publishing. And I think this brings up a really cool point of, at this time, this game's, pretty much solely financed by, the CEO and also just an investor. How does the community, and the team here think, what would be the pros and cons you guys think of, seeing teams, develop like that?
Well, with big publishers like that have already been doing movies, they might not be able to transition into games as well. Because games, unlike movies, are much longer, generally speaking.
Mm-hmm.
They have a lot more going into them, and you have to think not only how it appears, but how it plays. So that's something that they might not understand, like game balancing and such, that they're not going to be able to pick up on as easy. So, and they might expect a project done a lot quicker, because movies, you do have to deal with actors, but if you get a good cast, most likely you're not going to have to take as many takes.
Yeah.
If they were doing something like Indie Assault, and we got the whole game has to be done by December. 12 characters. Good job. We'd be like, oh god.
We need like
Fully balanced.
3 programmers.
Like 10 animators. And they'd be like, oh, and make sure that you work in the Saw doll as a playable character.
Oh my god.
But he has to be serious. I'm like, well, what do you want to do? Because we can have like attack the tricycle or something.
Like what next? The It Clown?
Yeah. Or like, you know,
That'd be
he
hilarious.
throws like the thing that reverse bear traps on the character. And then we get all these companies like pulling out, like Galaxy Trail, like, nope, nope. We don't want to see we don't want to see Spade get his head ripped open.
Oh man.
So, I mean, that's my position on it.
Yeah.
They could, since they have a lot of money, I mean, sure, they could funnel that in, but
Yeah, I think like I feel like from a professional standpoint, I think like they'd be able to bankroll the projects properly. It's just balance them as compared. My thinking is like are they going to be hiring or bring on teams that are experienced, or like they're looking to do like mobile, like kind of like how King does. King primarily focuses on on mobile, Candy Crush, and all those hugely popular mobile games. And then to challenge Johnny, a lot of video games actually are getting done in a lot shorter time. But at the same time, a lot of these experiences that we're playing on a daily average are much shorter. In terms of length and replayability. I mean, like God, playing Mortal Kombat, you don't unlock characters, you buy them. I mean, that's just one step in the evolution of video games and interactive media.
soon all games will be free to play. You will have to buy every level of Mario. You'll have to buy every character in Mortal Kombat.
I want to say that because you'll always have the person wanting to actively engage with his finances. But I mean, at the full spectrum, looking at and the indie game, I mean, I think it's hard because like you're investing in that team as much as that idea, and also like how are they going to be balancing it, and like are they confident they can deliver? Because like if Lionsgate just we're gonna back
Dust.
no, like a game like I love. Oh my gosh, Big Action Mega Fight. If they made a sequel to that, like it was super successful on Ouya and Amazon Fire TV because they had a controller. But if they back it like, here's $3 million to sell at Double Stallion, and they're trying to really make the biggest like beat 'em up on Android, like are they set? Besides that team having that one title, like are they like, this team's gonna deliver all $3 million worth?
Yeah, because they're definitely gonna want to make their money back.
Yeah, and then some. Like,
And it has to be profitable. So,
mm-hmm.
I mean, some indie games sell really well, and that's probably why Lionsgate's like, oh hell yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like Five Nights at Freddy's. He made those super quick, and they sold super well.
Yes, I do have to admit that. Like, just recently, over the last several years, that game has just appeared and just taken the world by storm.
And other than the death screens and that, the only thing that ever moves is Foxy when he runs down the hall.
Mm-hmm.
Did you survive Five Nights at Freddy's, Jared?
Did not play it.
It's always on the first night, I'm like, exit! That death scream is just gnarly. Like, me and my brother and my sister, we were all huddled around the laptop while he's playing. He had headphones, so we couldn't even hear it. And it's like just black screen. It's like right about to hit 6 a.m., black screen. And we're sitting there. It was like a solid 15 seconds before he got killed.
On the fifth night?
No, it was like the third.
Oh.
Bonnie got him. Yeah, so when it comes to these publishers, I mean, it can go either way because Universal's published games before, namely crap, but they've done it.
Well, I'm thinking because Lionsgate's not just focused on indie; they're focused probably on a lot.
Yeah.
Whereas that one said primarily indie, like Devolver Digital. How does the panel feel about? As you know, a lot of indie games are emotional, very persistent driven experiences to buy, Patrick DeSaliers or whoever the designer may be. With their their terms of use, Devolver Digital gives full ownership to the developer. They just basically ask for a split revenue share, where this company is asking for half of the IP and half of the revenue share. Do you think that's a good bargain for the indie team, or do you think it's a bad? Pros and cons. Go, Roman.
Well, I mean, if you're still be able to have your creative freedoms and stuff, because sometimes
Yeah.
when they have producers, then they want
No,
to have certain.
you have still full creative
Oh,
freedom.
okay, well, yeah, I mean, the IP split though, I don't know about that, but I mean, I guess depend on how much you want to do and what the percentage it is. But I mean, I think if you're able to have more, if they just more want to profit off it, that's probably
Mhm.
a better option. But I guess it kind of depends on what you're okay with and what you're projecting for your, how well we'll do. Or
All right, great. Thanks for that insight. I want to pose a question to the panel. Very tough question. Do you guys actually think anything's original anymore?
Yeah. There are original ideas. I mean, I hate to keep saying Five Nights, but Five Nights. Indie games are constantly coming out with great original ideas. I mean, some of them will build off of older ideas, and some of them will blatantly rip them off.
Yeah.
But Splatoon,
Mhm.
you mentioned that earlier. That is a completely original idea. You're playing as squids, shooting ink that you can swim through the ink, and it's a third-person shooter.
Mm.
I mean, Nintendo, they're creative minds. So Sony, I mean, they've come up with plenty of great ideas in recent years, like Little Big Planet, making a 2D platformer that you can completely customize to your liking.
Mhm. But it's-
So, I mean, Microsoft hasn't had an original idea in years, but still.
the dagger.
Well, I guess Project Spark. They haven't had any original popular ideas.
I feel like that's almost Project Spark could be compared to like Disney Infinity in the toy box mode, though.
Yeah.
Just like giving them the opportunity to express themselves.
Yeah, but most people don't like it.
Any other opinions on that? Do you guys think?
I mean, I would like to see a lot more. I mean, I guess there's some, but probably not the majority. There's a lot of spin-offs and a lot of stuff has been done under the sun. But I mean, when you have a good, idea that's mostly original, that's like a amazing thing and stuff. And that's I'd like to see more projects that have that passion and creative minds behind it to strive
want to
for.
be original.
Yeah, to want to be original. I mean, it's probably very
But
lucrative to just start off with
Mhm.
something that does well and then make your own version of it. But like that, I think it's might put more effort, but it would probably show more that you really putting a lot into it, because it probably does take a lot more to come up with a great idea that is original. So,
something that's never been done before.
Yeah, because also you can find originality by building off the ideas of others. Is something that I totally
Agree.
believe in. Because one of my new favorite games is Danganronpa on PlayStation Vita, where it takes the court battle system from Phoenix Wright and totally revamps it in a way that feels fresh and new. Plus, it's completely morbid, but in a whimsical way. Like you have to solve murders, and each murderer gets killed in an ironic way. Like the ultimate baseball star, he gets tied up and shot to death with baseballs. Or
That's pretty awesome.
yeah, or the ultimate gamer, she gets totally wrecked by a bunch of different classic video games. Like it starts off with Space Invaders with her getting shot at. She runs away and a giant mechanical Pac-Man tries to eat her until finally she falls into a Tetris trap and she can't get away, and they just drop Tetris blocks until it lights up and kills her. So, I mean, sorry for spoilers. But yeah, I mean, stand on the shoulders of giants, guys.
Great. I want to throw my hat in the room and say, I do and I don't. And like what I mean by that, like I feel like everyone is almost Picassoing another Picasso, and I feel like even like sequels, like people. So there's some people like when they see a movie or a game, like they won't put the second or third until like I feel like you can really dive in. Like I think anything should be able to be digested. It's like with like Mad Max. I watched the first one and now I'm like super stoked for the sequel. But like this new like retooling of the idea, like I love that. It's the same. You could even say with like great. What was a great rebirth of a game?
Great Rebirth?
Yeah.
Rayman.
Rayman. Like Rayman is an excellent idea. Like taking an old idea, making it popular, and just doing something cool and making it feel fresh again. And I guess at the end of the stem, I think that's why ukulele is so popular. I think they're doing something comfortable, something that people really like and know. And like, dude, check this out. We're doing a new spin on it. And they're like, oh man, something fresh, and they're just like, take my money.
Right now, nostalgia's the fad. Because like back in the NES days, it was just trying to make something that no one had ever seen before. Super Mario Bros. Oh my God, there's color. We're used to 2 lines going up and down as a little square bumps across them. Now you have colorful characters and diverse levels, despite there only being 4 variations. And that's how it was pretty much up to like the PS2 era. But then with the newer consoles like 360, PS3, and Wii, it was taking what they had already placed and presenting it in a way that's newer. So Ratchet and Clank got a massive upgrade with the Future series, with higher definition graphics, rockier weapons. Mario, instead of running around, jumping on Goombas on the normal like beach or whatever, now he's flying through the freaking galaxy.
No, I compare that more to like Super Mario Sunshine, with the GameCube, because that was basically when the PS2 was. But yeah, definitely. I mean, we all see different trends that we see in the industry, taking over. But I think everybody, I think that's such a hard word to coin with interactive media, because I really think everyone's improving on everyone else's.
Yeah, because if you look now, the most popular games are Shovel Knight, which takes all the best ideas from the NES games.
God, yeah, I mean
Shantae, it takes all the best ideas from like Metroid and Zelda 2 and presents it in a brand new colorful package. Ukulele, takes all your favorite Banjo-Kazooies and Donkey Kong 64s, Conkers, and just puts it in a new high-def, beautiful package
for everyone to experience.
So, I've seen some really blatant rip-offs though.
Yeah.
Like, I saw this one Phoenix Wright one, like her name's Regina Law or something, and it's completely Phoenix Wright.
Oh, I mean, you don't have to get to that hard. What's it called? It was a garbage game, but it's on PS3, and it also came out on 360, but it was like Gears of War. I don't remember the name.
Crackdown. No, not
Crackdown.
Warhammer.
No.
Yep. Not Warhammer?
No, it was like you could shoot portals and like...
You better not be talking about Portal, bro.
No, it wasn't Portal, but you could like, yeah. Like,
Inversion?
Inversion! Blatant ripoff. Blatant damn ripoff. Yes.
God, it sounded like it made like 4 games.
All right, well, I think that's, any other...
Well, this is kind of going back to that. I think, they could be definitely inspired by something and still make something kind of original, or like something sparks something else, and you like maybe influenced to have a different idea that gave you an idea from something
The
else.
concept that people already love and are familiar with.
Yeah, and I think that's what's so great about, the human mind. It's like, if you looked at, from, the Flintstones down to, the very first car had a motor in it, and now looking at cars that can recharge, cars that, can drive miles, cars that can, back themselves into, an L-Park shape. Like, you wouldn't think about that 50 years ago when you're just building a car with a motor in it, and you're like, oh, wow. I mean, we could talk about technology, but I think that's such a fundamental of someone copying someone and just improving upon that.
Yeah, like one of my favorite commentaries on that was on South Park. Because there was an episode where Butters, being Professor Chaos, kept coming up with these plans. And his minions like, oh yeah, just like on Simpsons. And he's like, what? And every time he tried coming up with something, his buddy would say, yeah, Simpsons already did that. Until at the end, when the other kids were all talking about what they were doing, where they had sea monkeys that were worshiping them as gods, he's like, ha! That happened on Simpsons. And they're like, so? And Chef's like, yeah, and that's just a rip-off of the Twilight Zone episode. He's like, see, most ideas have already been done, but that doesn't mean that they can't be done in new and creative ways.
Yeah.
Completely agree.
Yeah. All right,
Which,
guys.
take away from this, I watch and play way too much stuff.
Yes. For everyone, we thank you for joining this wonderful panel yet again for the second episode of the Imagination Podcast. Again, be sure to like us on Facebook at Imagination Vet INC. Follow us on Twitter at Imagination Vet. LinkedIn if you're looking for an awesome new career at Imagination Vet LLC. And of course, YouTube, Imagination Vet on YouTube. Be sure to follow us there. We have all of our latest updates with the game and, showing weekly Wednesday, stream sessions with showing some new components with the game. And also our new marketing specialist, Alex, is going to be helping with that too. Any other thoughts, guys, or looking forward to next week?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, well, I'll get up a new batch of characters for us to discuss.
Yeah, and I can't wait to play as Rin.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Get our new neutral special and just start wrecking house.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And to see some cool new improvements with just the overall aesthetic too.
Overall feel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And hopefully soon it'll be in your guys' hands.
It will be. Appreciate you guys. Have a wonderful night. Take care.